Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. It's Monday already. We had a great weekend of sports, and of course, joining us on a Monday to break down the NFL and UFC and a few other things. Jason Cameron, how was your weekend, buddy?
Weekend was really good. It was a friend's birthday, so we celebrated. I helped facilitate some stuff, and end of the day, the birthday girl in question had a fantastic night. So did everybody else. It was a ton of fun. It was
Oh,
a ton of
good.
fun.
Oh, nice.
Sunday was a little rough though.
Yeah. What type of festivities? What type of things? What'd you guys get up to?
Just went out to like it was like a lounge. Went
Oh,
out to a lounge.
hmm.
But before that was met up at another friend's place and then had some appies and drinks and then we went to the lounge after. So
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, and that was Saturday night, right?
that was Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. So the UFC was early Saturday, but the big event Saturday night was the Triple G Canelo 3. And it was a fight we've been waiting for about 4 or 5 years. Really wanted it to happen much sooner. It was really disappointing that it didn't, because Triple G's finally showing his age. First time I've ever really seen him fight the way he did, and he took a loss. It was, I'd say, about 9 rounds to 3, something like that. The judges' scorecards were kind of ridiculous, but it was just not the same old Triple G that we've grown accustomed to, and it turned out to be kind of a disappointing fight.
That's unfortunate. First, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to see the fight. I was out, but did he look old and slow?
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he just didn't. He seemed to be way slower than Canelo. He didn't seem to be pressing the action. He seemed to be tentative every time he was, trying to throw. I think they kept throwing stats out there, like he's thrown about a third of the amount of punches that he did in those first 2 fights. He's only thrown about half as many jabs. They're just stats just kept coming out throughout the whole entire fight that said, this is just not the same guy we witnessed in those 2 really epic battles.
Yeah. And I did mention to you before you watched the fight that this might be his time to call it quits and hang him up, because sometimes for boxers it can just hit you all of a sudden, all at once, where you're just like, oh, I just don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And the body just doesn't respond the way you'd like.
He was adamant that he's not retiring. He said he's got a bunch of fights in mind that he wants. He wants to fight in Kazakhstan. He wants to put on some more shows. He'll probably be able to compete with some boxers, but just Canelo's still, I think, in his prime still, and just not really able to get up to his level. One thing about boxing that has really killed the sport is that there's these fights that people are clamoring for, but it takes years and years and years for these guys to finally come to agreement with their management teams and the promoters, and so then we see fighters where they're way past their prime, and it just doesn't deliver like it should.
Yeah, and that's always a shame, because the people that get cheated are the boxing fans.
Yeah.
And so we don't get to see these 2 epic warriors in their prime go after each other. Now, for Triple G and Canelo, at least we did see 2 fights before Triple G kind of aged out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And looking forward ahead, at least there's 1 fight coming up where it looks like they're going to get it right.
Right.
And the fight I'm talking about, I think you already know where I'm going to go with this. Yeah. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah.
Those are 2 guys in their primes, and we're going to get to see them do the thing.
Yeah.
Get it. And I can't wait.
It's scheduled. Fights fall off for numerous reasons, injuries, different things, but Yeah, it's scheduled. I'm excited about that one. But yeah, it's few and far between with boxing. Do you think boxing would ever go the model of the UFC? Have this preeminent organization that has everybody under one umbrella, pits the top fighter against the ranked fighter, really doesn't have to deal with one promotion against another promotion. Do you think boxing can be able to ever get there like a UFC model?
No, never. Will never happen because it's already ingrained. Like they already got this whatever system that they got going on, which sometimes to me just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And there's too much money involved. Right. So there's too many people that have vested interest in it going their way. Yeah. So for it to be all of a sudden become under one umbrella, nah, not likely to happen.
Yeah, that's really too bad. I think that's one of the only things that can save the sport in North America. And I know Dana White has sort of talked about it at times, being maybe wanting to go that route. You know, the funny thing is, Jake Paul and the Paul brothers are sort of, in a way, bringing boxing to the forefront. You know, it's ridiculous because they're fighting a lot of, you know, people that aren't professional boxers, washed up guys, things like that. But it has the popularity somehow and has been getting a ton of eyeballs on these events. But yeah, when I just look at so many fights that I've wanted to see, but they've just taken so long to happen, and by the time they do, the fights are really not very good because these fighters are just past their prime and they're kind of washed up. So it's a bummer, really big bummer.
Yeah, it is. It is a bummer. Another example of that happening, I remember from back in the day, Floyd Mayweather when he finally fought Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Should have happened 6-7 years ago.
Way before
that.
Yeah.
Never did.
Yeah. And it was massive. Like it became, you know, the fight of the century type of thing. Everybody was talking about it. People were going and watching it at bars, casinos, all over. But the fight really didn't deliver. It was quite boring. It really put a sort of a black mark on boxing because there was just so much hype behind it. Finally, these two ultimate warriors are going to have a chance to finally face each other. And it was, yeah, like you say, 6-7 years when it was past when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and it was super disappointing because you could see it. It's just like, oh, he's past it.
Yeah,
he's past it. And Floyd Mayweather, well, being the smart businessman that he is, he took advantage of that. But that's not what anybody wanted to see. Yeah. Nobody wants to see an older Pacquiao take on still maybe slightly out of his prime, but it's still very, very ridiculously good Floyd Mayweather take on this guy, right? Like, so if there was a way that they could solve that so that these fights that people want to see could always happen, that would be glorious. But yeah, probably not going to happen like that.
Yeah, it's really too bad. I reached out to a bunch of friends and asked who was watching it. One of my friends, Dale Walters, said that he was going to get a chance to watch it, he thought, but he had flown to Edmonton to see his son enter the ring and get his first pro fight under his belt. And he said the fight, his son Jackson's fight was way more exciting than the Canelo Triple G fight. He said, you should have flown out to Edmonton, be with me and watch it. You would have been way more entertained with their fight than the big one.
Well, it sounds to me like, yeah, it's almost like obvious it was more entertaining because unfortunately Triple G, like, you know, it sucks because we understand his capabilities. But when you get old, and then you just don't have it anymore. Not to say that he still can't put on good fights necessarily, because obviously he still wants to keep fighting, but he just can't fight at the highest levels anymore.
No, unfortunately. And forever, he'll have those losses, 3 losses to Canelo, and that's the only guy that's ever been able to beat him. But yeah, I feel I feel for the guy, and yeah, what incredible career. Knockout artist. One of the greatest fighters of all time, Hall of Famer for sure. Going in right away, first ballot. Yeah, I can't wait to for that recognition for him. And I have witnessed so many amazing fights by him. It is a bit sad when you see a guy that just can't let go, and he's on a little past his prime. People, witnessing maybe him for the first time, and they're like, "Oh, what was so good about this guy?" I don't know. He didn't seem that great to me.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's like, no, if you saw what he did to people in that boxing ring before Canelo, yeah, then you'd get it pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But boxing and I guess sports in general, very hard for these guys to let go. Very hard for them to retire and give it up. They get very addicted to the fame, the fortune, the feeling of entering that ring in front of huge crowds. It's tough, and I should never tell a guy, it's time to retire. That should be on his own terms.
It should be, but also too, there should be people in his camp saying,
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's time, or we're getting close, right?
Yeah. No kidding. Today was supposed to be a holiday. Unfortunately, our productions said no, forget that. We don't care. The Queen died. We're supposed to have this recognized day according to the government, according to everybody, but no, forget it. So had to go to work. So did you. A lot of people were off today. I was really shocked at how little traffic was on the road. It was actually incredible. It felt like, I don't know, like maybe a Sunday, or maybe, I don't know. It just was bizarre how little traffic I saw. Did you notice?
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, yeah, you're right. There wasn't really a lot of traffic on the roads. Yeah. Well, okay, so we did experience some traffic later on in the day coming out of Ladner, but that was because there was a traffic accident, and it was actually looked pretty bad. But other than that, it was actually, you're right. There wasn't a lot of traffic on the road, especially for me coming home.
No. Yeah. A big thing also that happened Saturday was this Hail Mary by Appalachian State. I sent you the video. Did you see the chaos and the craziness that ensued in that college football game?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like old school, like where like the whole stadium just bum rushed the field. It was like, but it was amazing.
Yeah,
like, it was literally amazing. Like it was. Well, that shouldn't have happened, and then it did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest Hail Marys to get the winning touchdown. And once some of the fans started coming out of the stands, it just was like free for all for everybody. And I don't know how many fans sit in that stadium, but not many were still in the stands within about 2 minutes. Everybody seemed to be on the field celebrating. And I'm going to post a link. I wasn't able to share it on here today, but I'm going to post a link. There was a couple of viewpoints from it, and man, it was pretty awesome. The TV coverage wasn't amazing because it's a smaller college, and they didn't have the big CBS or Fox on the scene, but it was still pretty neat to witness it.
No, it was cool. It was awesome. Like, because like you see it, the guy just hucks it forever, and you're just like, oh, hey, I guess it has a chance. Oh no, it's like hey, I guess it has a chance. It's like, oh no, it really has a chance. He runs it in.
Yeah. One of the moments on the weekend that I liked the most was I just couldn't stop laughing. I guess this Twitter site, this website, it definitely focuses a lot on the space race and NASA, and it sends out a lot of information about different things that NASA is doing. and it's not affiliated with NASA, but it kind of looks like a NASA site. So they sent out a tweet asking for people's input on trying to name the latest probe that they're sending up to space, and it's heading to Uranus. And so they put out this request for people to actually physically name this this probe that they're sending. And oh my God, the submissions were just hilarious. There was people that took it seriously, and yeah, started saying, okay, let's name this Muse, Mission Uranus Science Expedition, or Earhart, which is named after the pioneering aviator Amelia Earhart. Another one was Tempest, in honor of how the planet's moons are named after a bunch of Shakespeare characters. But then there was a lot of submissions that were, I would say, tongue-in-cheek. They had Charmin, Seymour Butts, Deep Dive, and then some pretty very creative ones that had acronyms like Research Education Charging Towards Uranus Mission, and that ends up spelling rectum, or Planetary Orbital Observations Probe, and that spells poop when you look it out in the acronym. Oh my God, just the submissions were just so hilarious. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was actually true that the NASA had put in this request, and a little deeper dive today for me realized that it was somebody that was just trying to make a spoof and have some fun with it. And oh my God, the submissions just had me rolling around laughing.
No, well, that's funny, and it's funnier that it was actually just a hoax.
Yeah,
because when as soon as you said that, I go, I don't think NASA's ever done that or ever will do that. That was in my thought, because it's like, no, we're pretty capable of naming our own stuff.
yeah. It sure had a lot of people believing that it was true, and but it was very well orchestrated hoax. Yeah, I loved it. It definitely had me laughing a ton. Let's turn to football. A historic week 2 in the NFL. This first time in NFL history that there were multiple 21-point comebacks on the same day. The Dolphins and the Cardinals had some epic comebacks, and your Atlanta Falcons almost pulled off an epic comeback as well. I sent you some text asking if you were watching that game, because I was just shocked and blown away that the Falcons were making a comeback. Jalen Ramsey snuffed that out with his interception on the goal line there. But yeah, there was some just insane, crazy comebacks. And yeah, I can't wait to break into it. There was just some awesome action.
Oh, there was great action. Fantastic games where you thought, oh no, that this game is over, and then it's like, oh, maybe not. I guess I'm gonna keep watching. No, it great weekend of NFL football.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why. Didn't find out why, but there's 2 games tonight on Monday night, and as far as I can ever remember, there was just only that one feature game always, and so yeah, tonight 2. Don't know why. One's on ABC, one's on ESPN, shown locally here on TSN. I came in late. I was trying to update and watch the Bills score, but they put a absolute beating tonight on the Tennessee Titans to go 2-0, put the Titans at 0-2, and oh my God, Bills are for real. They are a lot of people's Super Bowl favorite, and they're really showing why.
Yeah, the Bills squashed the Titans, squashed their run game. Henry was, well, at the time when I looked at the stats, he only had 13 carries for 25 yards. He did score a touchdown, their only touchdown, by the way. And then the Bills defense just shut them down. Like Tannehill, again, from when I first saw it, I think he finished with close to only 120 yards.
Yeah.
And 2 interceptions.
2 picks. Yeah.
It's just like, wow, that was quite a night at the office for a good
they pulled him. I don't know if it was just because it was out of reach or they were sick and tired of his ineptness, but they put Malik Willis in and he didn't do much better. He was 1 for 4 with 6 yards. Henry, I have never seen him shut down that badly. 1.9 yards per rush. That's not the King Henry that we're used to seeing. But I think the Bills defense is maybe just as good as their offense. To win 41-7 against Tennessee, who, the playoff team last year and, very solid team since Tannehill's been there. Josh Allen, another amazing night, 317 yards passing with 4 TDs. And he's just masterful. He's just really, really working so well with his offense. Stephon Diggs, what a game. 12 catches, 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those two together. Once Stephon left Minnesota and went to Buffalo, those two have just been on the same page every single game, and this was just an epic performance by Diggs.
Oh yeah, epic performance. Allen was able to find his favorite target multiple times, multiple touchdowns, and unfortunately, the Titans D, their secondary, couldn't do anything. Just couldn't stop them. They just were like, "Oh, that ball going over my it's another touchdown, and another one,
yeah,
and another one."
Yeah. Josh Allen, put up 24 points in the third quarter. He took the fourth quarter off. Case Keenum came in to do mop-up duty. Didn't really do a lot except hand the ball off and try to run the clock down. But that was an absolute whooping. And Buffalo's out of the gate 2-0 and looking like world beaters. Let's turn to the second game tonight. The Eagles and the Vikings, still going on, about 6 minutes left in the fourth here. Eagles are dominating, winning 24-7. They had a bit of a scare first week, but put up a ton of points. Jalen Hurts, again, a really good performance tonight. And looks like Eagles will go to 2-0 and Vikings will go to 1-1.
Well, you know what? The Eagles have a great rushing attack, especially with Jalen Hurts just like doing his best version of Michael Vick back there.
Yeah.
Getting it done. So yeah, man, it's I think the Eagles could possibly be a dark horse because they're looking good. They're looking good so far.
Yeah, with their acquisitions that they made in the offseason, I thought, look out, they're going to be great. They put up 350 yards of offense in the first half. It was impressive. Jalen Hurts at this point has 331 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 66 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns running. So I mean, he's contributed 3 touchdowns, 4 of them, all 3. And I don't think Minnesota has an answer. Justin Jefferson has been completely shut down tonight. Just really not the kind of performance we expected from him. Last week he had about 200 yards, and this week he's been held to 5 catches for 41 yards, and be really a non-factor. Dalvin Cook, I haven't seen him shut down this bad either. 17 yards rushing on 6 attempts. Kirk Cousins, they don't have any answers for Philly's defense tonight at all. And another one of the elite teams here on Monday night. Not close games, unfortunately, but good to see some elite teams really showing their teeth and getting some big victories.
Yeah, especially with the Eagles and just showing that they're not just good on offense, they're good on defense too. And they're capable of taking away weapons.
Yeah.
With the shutdown of Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, 2 of their prime weapons for the Vikings offense, took them right away. Yeah. Now Cousins is having a very hard time.
Yeah. There has been a lot of parity in the NFL. Last year was an amazing example of parity and incredible games and super tight, close games. There are only 6 2-0 teams left, and there are 5 0-2 teams. There's 19 teams that are 1-1 and 2 that are 0-1-1 with that tie between Houston and Indy in that first week. There has not been a team to start 0-2 and make the playoffs since they changed the format to 7 teams making it on both sides of the conferences. And I don't know. Coming out 0-2, isn't that crazy? Out of a 17-week season, you can pretty much just write off that you're not making the playoffs. That could be the case again for a lot of these teams. We see the Titans at 0-2, the Raiders at 0-2. Some teams that, people thought some big things were going to happen. And I don't know if that trend is going to happen again this year, but it's kind of weird that over the last couple seasons, no team 0-2 made the playoffs.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. That's actually happened. Because like the one team that I would look at and I think to myself, they could still possibly make it, would definitely be the Raiders for me.
Right. Yeah. The other one for me that I didn't mention is the Bengals. Big surprise. They were, Super Bowl finalists last year. Came out of the AFC. But Panthers 0-2, not unexpected. Falcons 0-2, and as I mentioned, the other teams. But kind of bizarre to see the Raiders, Bengals, and Titans all 0-2 and in trouble already. Okay, why don't we just go back a little bit and talk about the Thursday night game between the Chargers and the Chiefs. That was the first game of the week, and Justin Herbert was banged up pretty bad. Had some seriously broken rib cartilage that was really giving him a lot of pain. This is a back and forth game. Very entertaining, but the Chiefs were able to pull out and get their second win of the season.
Yeah, and where they really took control of the game was that interception on the goal line by, I believe, Watson, and for a 99-yard interception, right?
Yeah.
Brought that back for a touchdown, and then that's where the Chiefs took over. That was the turning point in that game.
Sure
and
was.
Mahomes was masterful yet again, 24, 35, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. It just always finding a way to getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, such a weapon there. He had 8 carries for 74 yards and 4 catches for 44 yards. Looked great. Justin Herbert had a very big game. But yeah, just wasn't able to, after suffering that injury, just wasn't able to really generate the offense anymore. There was a lot of Chargers fans, including me, that were pretty scared, pretty worried that he was seriously banged up. But they say it's just something that's pain management, should be able to be addressed with some pain pills, maybe a shot, and he should be fine. But these guys are tough as hell. I've had some rib cartilage fractures too, and it's brutal. I don't even know if I could play a game, at the highest level with it. But man, good news, but bad news for him.
Yeah, good news, but bad news. But at the same time, you look at that with the injury that he suffered, and you hope that they don't exacerbate it anymore. Yeah, because at the same time, yes, it is pain management, but the pain management that he's dealing with are 300-pound plus linemen falling on him. Yeah, that's not fun.
No, not at all. Yeah, when you say it sounds funny, but geez, it's not going to be funny for him at all.
No.
Herbert's also missing his top receiver in Keenan Allen, who's still out, but Mike Williams became his favorite target, had 8 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. And we got the Canadian Josh Palmer got a touchdown. Nice to see that. the Brampton, Ontario product, contributing there. Austin Eckler had a hard time on the ground, and yeah, they just not enough offense to take out the Chiefs. And yeah, as I said, Chiefs are back to 2-0 and dominating the West. Chargers 1-1. Broncos are also 1-1. Denver doesn't seem as happy having Russell Wilson as they were a month ago. And they've only put up 16 points both games. They were able to get a victory over Houston in this one, but their offense is not really firing on all cylinders like a lot of people expected with Russ going there. There was lots of boos from the home crowd towards Russ and the offense. And I don't know, his rookie coach, Nathaniel Hackett, really making a lot of mistakes. And I don't know. I'm not sure if this experiment, $230 million to bring him over, is working out so far.
Well, so far, no, it's not. You know, like especially not getting it done is 45% completions. You know, and that's what Wilson's was, and that's horrible. It's not very good at all.
No.
So luckily, the Broncos D stepped up and held the Texans to 9 points. But that could have not been a thing if the Texans were smart enough to have just kept giving it to their running back, Damian Price, who's actually having himself quite the game.
Yeah.
15 carries, 69 yards. Yeah, they probably could have given him the ball a little bit more. Don't know why they didn't do that. I guess they thought, I think that's good enough for him. I think we got this one in the bag. No, you didn't.
No. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? Yeah. He was the only one that was really going for them. Cortland Sutton had a great game. Obviously, 7 catches, 122 yards. The only touchdown came from Eric Saubert, one of the tight ends, 22-yard TD. Jerry Jeudy got hurt. He has a rib injury, and I'm not sure the extent to the injury. Didn't hear today if he's going to be out for a bit, but that's a big loss if he is out for a little while. Yeah, their running game was just okay with Melvin Gordon, but I don't know. So far, the Broncos just have not looked like that juggernaut that a lot of people expected they would be.
No, and part of the reason could be because of the rookie head coach. You know, like I think he's still trying to find his way, so to speak, with his personnel and with his play calling. Yeah. And so right now, I think you can see that they don't have a cohesive unit yet.
No.
On offense. That's
true. Next game for the Broncos, they host the 49ers on the Sunday nighter, and the Titans, Texans, they go to Chicago to play the Bears Sunday, the early window. So we'll see that one. Okay, so the Raiders were up 20-0 at the half over the Cardinals. They were still up 23-7 after 3 quarters, and they found a way to blow the lead and lose 29-23 in overtime. Kyler Murray led the Cards to the comeback. AJ Green was great, but Hunter Renfrow was the guy that you can put a lot of blame on. He fumbled twice in overtime. The first one was recovered by the Raiders by Foster Moreau. Second one, he fumbled. Moreau went to grab it, wasn't able to. The Cardinals were able to scoop it up, run it back, touchdown, won the game. Shocking, Vegas fans. This was crazy how this just looked like in the bag. I kept checking it out, kept watching, and thought, oh yeah, the Raiders got this easy, and the Cardinals just pulled off this miraculous comeback and won in overtime.
The Raiders were up by 20 at halftime. And then after that, they only scored a field goal. That is not getting it done. That is unacceptable for how good that team is. And you scored a field goal in the second half. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened to your team? What happened?
I don't know. Like, why didn't they throw the ball to Davante Adams? He got 2 catches for 12 yards. He got a touchdown on one of his 2 catches. Where was he? Why? Maybe they were double, triple teaming him, but like, it was bizarre that they just took him right completely out of the game.
Yeah, it was bizarre because, like, even if he is being double teamed, it's still Davante Adams. I'm still going to take my shots with Davante Adams,
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Carr, I guess, didn't feel comfortable with that, which is odd to me because he should.
Yeah, because those guys looked so great in that opening game, and their college, teammates and still buddies, have been wanting to play together for a long, long time. Just shocking that Davante just became a non-factor in that second half. Yeah, it was bizarre, really bizarre. Kyler Murray really looked phenomenal in the end of that game. He got 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point converts. One of the scores that he made was just amazing. He took the ball, faded back, got a lot of pressure, had to run around. He ended up running 85.7 yards to punch it into the end zone there. On I think they hiked the ball at the 5-yard line, I think it was, and for him to run around and get in, that was just epic Kyler Murray. But you pointed out just before we started the podcast that even better was his laser beam pass to AJ Green in the back of the end zone to get the 2-point conversion that forced overtime. He's a weapon with his feet and his arm. Incredible performance.
Yeah, because like that pass that he made to AJ Green at the back of the end zone, it reminded me of like a movie where you see all these things that could be in the way of the ball, or like all these guys trying to intercept it, and the ball is perfect, just goes through all these people, just for the guy to just go, oh, thank you, click.
Yeah,
it was picture perfect pass.
Oh man, was it ever? Yeah, that was spectacular. Yeah, it was just a joy to watch, and I couldn't believe he could fit it through that window because there was like 6 or 8 guys that were trying to get it, and it just somehow just sliced between everybody's hands and got in there. Yeah, it was awesome. So the Cardinals are back. Really great, amazing performance. It might take a little while for the Raiders to recover from blowing that lead. That was crazy. I just did not see that coming. They just didn't die. And the Cards will have a tough test on Sunday afternoon. They host the Rams. The Raiders will travel to Tennessee, who we saw lose really badly to the Bills tonight. So 2 0-2 teams facing each other. It'll be interesting to see who's finally going to get the win, and one team's going to go 0-3 and really put themselves in a deep hole.
Yeah, one team is definitely going to be going 0-3. And by the way, I think that team not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
you heard it here first. Not going to make it.
I think that's a good prediction. That's a very good prediction. Yeah. Okay, staying in the AFC. Let's turn to the East. Miami sits on top with a 2-0 record with a massive comeback win of their own, 42-38 over Baltimore. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens also had this completely sewn up. This was an easy win. Just they had it. I don't know how they let it go. Baltimore's always been amazingly famous for their defense. They have had epic defensive performances, won Super Bowls, and this must have just killed Baltimore. The old guys that are old Baltimore alumni, the fans, the coaching staff. This team blew a lead that they should never have blown. And Tua and his speedsters Waddle and Hill, oh my God. They pulled off another amazing, epic comeback and got this victory. What a game this was. One of the best games I've ever seen.
If Ed Reed was watching this particular game at home, he probably destroyed his own TV. Yeah. He, like the TV was destroyed. But the one thing I can definitely say, and everybody else said, this was not Jackson's fault. Lamar Jackson did everything possible to win that game.
Yeah.
You know, that dude was amazing. He was Action Jackson. 21 of 29, 318 yards, 3 TDs, 9 carries, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. All right. So this is what we learned from that. I guess he can't do it on his own.
No. Yeah, football's not the same as games like basketball. One man cannot win a football game all by himself. He tried. He really tried. He is getting paid. They are gonna really regret not re-upping him this offseason. But what a performance. But yeah, he just was not able to get the victory all by himself. It was epic. But Tua, what about Tua? Look at his numbers. Holy cow. Like this might even eclipse some of his games in college. Like guys put up prolific numbers in college, but for him to get 6 touchdowns, 470 yards passing, like amazing performance by Tua.
And on top of that, in the fourth quarter alone, threw for 189 yards.
Jeez.
4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, having Tyreek Hill, that was just amazing. You know, being able to pull off getting Tyreek Hill there with Waddle. I think these two guys are the fastest 2 players in the NFL. I would love to actually see a race between the top 10 guys, but I do think these 2 could be the 2 fastest. And it must be just such a pleasure for Tua to just throw it up. Even when he's a little bit behind them, they're still, 6, 7, 8 yards ahead. By the time the defense catch up, they still got about a 3-yard cushion. He's still going to get a massive amount of touchdowns this year. He might be able to, start setting incredible Miami Dolphins records for touchdowns that we never thought we'd ever see broken.
Yeah, because like now that he has these 2 incredible speedsters on the team, they're able to stretch the defense. Yeah. And then also too, what are you going to do? You can't just double team the one guy and not worry about the other, because then the other guy's going to go up. So you double team Waddle, Hill goes up. Double team Hill, Waddle goes up. Yeah. Or with this particular game, let's not double team anybody. Oh, okay, then they'll both go up. Cool.
Well, can you believe the numbers that they both put up? Both got 11 balls, 171 for one, 190 for the other, and both got 2 touchdowns. Like, do we ever see a dynamic duo like this ever? This is amazing. These are video game numbers.
Oh, they're video game numbers for sure. This is like me playing Madden and been like, okay, well, I'm just going to pass Tyreek Hill the whole entire game. Would you look at that? You know what? I'm going to give it the Wild too. I'm going to spray it around a little bit. Yeah, it was amazing. Those 2 receivers for the Miami Dolphins are absolutely amazing.
Ray Rice, Ed Reed, Tyrell Suggs, they were throwing things all around their house. They probably went to the facility today to scream at the guys on defense right now. You are ruining our legacy. This Baltimore team is never supposed to give up points and yardage like that. What the hell is going on? Harbaugh must be super furious. This was an epic collapse that they had this game. This was in the bag. I can't believe that Miami was able to pull this off and get this massive win. This is huge. This really starts making you think that Miami is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Like Miami is looking better and better as we go along, and also Tua is asserting that no, I'm actually a very, very good quarterback, and now I get a chance to actually prove it and shut up all the doubters.
The game started off, Miami kicked the ball to Baltimore, and Devin Duvernay returned the kickoff 103 yards for an opening touchdown. Do you know who Devin Duvernay's cousin is?
No, I don't.
We were just talking about him last game.
Okay.
Who was the force to be reckoned with last game? Juking around.
Oh my! It's Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is his cousin.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So what a family! Yeah, what a family. They, these two guys are prolific runners, and Baltimore just didn't trail. It just looked like, boom, they got the opening kickoff, scored a touchdown, just started putting up points. Lamar was just otherworldly, and you thought, oh man, this game, I should turn the channel, and then all of a sudden, maybe I'll give Miami a shot here. And then I'm so glad I did, because that was, as I said, one of the best football games I've ever seen.
Yeah, of course, especially in the fourth quarter where they put up godly type numbers. That's ridiculous. Like Tua, I'm looking forward to seeing how many touchdowns Tua finishes with this season.
Yeah. Guess who Miami plays Sunday early?
Okay.
Do you know?
No, I don't know. Okay.
Interdivisional game. I'll give you a hint.
Interdivisional game. I can't think.
They got Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo. Right.
Holy cow. So this is going to be epic. Two incredible offenses. Josh Allen has his completion percentage is 75%, 680 total yards with 8 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs has 20 catches this year, 270 yards and 4 touchdowns. And you look at the numbers that Miami's put up. This could be the game of the year in week 3.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. First off, and you're right. This could be the game of the year. It could be already in week 3. Now, is that game in Buffalo?
It is no, it's in Miami. Miami hosts it.
And, okay, so now it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be gorgeous. They don't have to play in the Bills like, in a frozen tundra or anything else like that. But also too, the Bills are like, oh no, this is really nice and sunny. We're gonna they're gonna be coming after them. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that game. That's gonna be a good.
Yeah, it'll be the battle for the division lead. Both Dolphins and Bills are 2-0, and whoever wins will take over the lead. The Jets and the Patriots are both 1-1 and behind. The Ravens, they will go to New England to play the Patriots also in the early window. So let's see. Okay. I mentioned the Jets. They also had an incredible comeback to win. They came back on the Browns and they scored 14 points to pull out the win.
Yeah,
in 82 seconds, in the last 2 minutes, they were able to use Joe Flacco, who's 15-year veteran, kind of past his prime. Somehow were able to stun the Cleveland Browns and get the win. Cleveland has not started the season 2-0 in almost 30 years. So, poor Cleveland Brown fans, you're never gonna see a winner there, I don't think. This must have been tough to witness. The Jets aren't a juggernaut. They're not a team that's putting up huge amount of points on anybody. They were able to come back in the last couple minutes and get this 31-30 win. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because of the fact that it's Jets.
It's the
Jets, right? And I kind of thought weird how the guy missed the extra point that badly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh, What's the worst that can happen? It's just an extra. Oh, you can lose the game. Oh, okay. That's actually what happened.
Oh man, Nick Chubb had an amazing game, 3 touchdowns. Another guy that you're like, okay, put the game on his back. He's going to be able to lead us to a win. But no, football it cannot be won by one guy.
No, cannot be won by one man. And it's been proven a lot for this particular week for week 2 of the NFL. And like even with the pass that went to Davis, he was wide open.
Jeez,
by the way,
was he ever
wide open, lone coverage by the Browns to the point where you're just like,
what the
there
heck?
was nobody in the vicinity. He was just like, he ran down the field and was like, oh, nobody's gonna cover me. This is great, cool, thank you.
Yeah, that was a gift. They just said, here you go, touchdown for you, Corey Davis.
Yeah, and then Corey Davis like, can you do that again so we can win? Oh yeah, and then so it's fine.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, 8 catches, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm pretty shocked. After Zach Wilson went down, I just thought, see you later, right off the Jet season. They're probably still not gonna, go anywhere this year, but to be able to just somehow pull it together and think, no, we still can win this. Super impressive, and it's gotta make a lot of New York fans happy because we've seen some pretty bad teams there in the last few years, the Giants and the Jets, both in Meadowlands, not doing well. But what another crazy epic comeback for week 2.
Yeah, another epic comeback. Jets fans have a ray of hope now, because it's like, hey, that wasn't actually supposed to happen, but it did. I think we're back. I wouldn't get crazy, but at least they won this game.
Yeah. Cleveland, I think Cleveland has, amazing running attack with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You think you just hand the ball off to them a ton through the game. To be able to pick up Amari Cooper away from Dallas, he had a great game, 9 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. I thought, look out, Browns could be all right, but they just don't have enough there. Myles Garrett looked great. Jadeveon Clowney looked great. They both had strip fumbles, and Jadeveon Clowney unfortunately suffered a right ankle injury, and he will not play Thursday. Cleveland will host the Steelers on AFC North battle on Thursday. Jadeveon Clowney missing, that's going to hurt them really big time.
Yeah, that sucks. That's going to hurt them. They're going to have to make do with the personnel that they have without him. But that's a big blow. It's a big blow.
The Jets will host the Bengals on the early games on Sunday. I am looking forward to that Cleveland Steelers game. Always good to see AFC North battles, and hopefully they can have a good showing. Okay, we're still in the AFC East. This was the Patriots. This was Robert Kraft's 500th game as the owner of the Patriots, and they were able to pull out a nail biter, a win 17-14 over Pittsburgh. Nelson Aguilar had the huge highlight touchdown catch. It was epic, and an amazing catch that pulled out the win for the Patriots.
Yeah, amazing catch. Great throw by Mac Jones to get it there to him. And Jones, he had a good game. 21-35, 252 yards, 1 touchdown. Fortunately, 1 INT. But Aguilar was the hero, indefinitely, for this game.
Yeah, he fizzled out in Philly. The fans weren't happy with the drops that he had, some of the possession troubles. But since he's gone there, he's looked pretty epic, and he's become Mac Jones' favorite target for sure. to get 110 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers had a great game as well with 9 catches, 100 yards. And Damian Harris looked good. He was able to get 15 rushes for 71 yards, 4.7 average, and a touchdown. A nice win. Steelers are still struggling with Mitch Trubisky there. Najee Harris, he is their guy right now. But they're just, I don't know. With it seems like with Trubisky, they're just using this dink and dunk offense. They're not really airing the ball out too much, and they just don't really seem like they have an offensive team that will scare anybody, really.
No, because I think the Steelers are just basically asking Trubisky to manage the game and not create too many turnovers.
Yeah.
So they're not letting him sling it, like go gunslinger like Brett Favre. No. They're just like, stay in your lane and just do your checkdowns.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's tough because Chase Claypool's there and he's really great product out of Abbotsford, and I always watch for his stats and see what he's done. And he's just I think this whole entire Steelers team is going to struggle. And as I mentioned, they play Cleveland on Thursday. The Patriots host Baltimore Sunday. It's going to be a big test for the hoodie and Mac Jones and the whole Patriots organization, trying to shut down Lamar and Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with playing against the guy that looks like he's like a video game player. Because if he does what he did against Miami, I don't think the Patriots can rely on like an amazing comeback. They're just gonna lose the game.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. Okay, we've broken down 3 of the teams in the AFC North. Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. They're all tied at 1-1 with the record. The Bengals occupy the bottom of the division, 0-2 after losing a tough one to Dallas, 20-17. Cooper Rush got his second career start in favor of Dak Prescott, and he got his second career win. The Cowboys defense was the difference, though. Joe Burrow, man, they tried to address his offensive line this offseason. They brought in guys that they thought were going to protect him, and again, 6 sacks against. He's probably going to set a record this year for the most sacked QB of all time. And man, he's in trouble every time he drops back to try to pass the ball. I feel really sorry for this young guy.
Yeah, it looks like he was like kind of running for his life or just getting buried by like this defensive lineman of the Cowboys, like every time he dropped back. It was to the point sometimes where I'm like, so what did they do again? Did they get 2 guys? Like, because it looks like they didn't do anything. Like the offensive line woes are still there, and it's really bad. Like it's really, really bad. Like if they're not careful, Burrow is going to get hurt, and he's going to be gone for the season. So whatever they got to do, they got to figure out that offensive line, because it is not good right now. Not good.
No, you're right. They're running a really bad risk of getting Joe Burrow hurt, and he's one of the main reasons why they made the Super Bowl last year. He's constantly getting hit and taken down. We saw Justin Herbert get that rib injury. We've seen other quarterbacks taken out. It's not good when your quarterback's running for his life and he's getting 7 sacks first week, 6 sacks the second week. That's not a recipe for success. This has to be figured out. I think they're going to have to make a trade really soon if these guys that they brought in won't be able to do the job.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, if you're running for your life, you're getting sacked all the time. That means that the offense doesn't literally have a chance to even get started. It doesn't have a chance to get started throughout the course of the game. So you're not giving yourself a chance to win these games, which Burrow is very, capable of doing if he's given time.
Yeah.
And you're giving him no time. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. The other thing that really frustrates me about this game was the Cowboys seem to they have two running backs. They've got Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, and they seem to be enamored with Zeke more than Pollard. I think Pollard's a better running back. I think they got to get him the ball more. Zeke should start taking a back seat, even though Ezekiel's making more money. I think Pollard's a better running back. He's proving it almost every single game. And this is, I don't know if this is stubbornness or what's going on here, but this is crazy. I think the Cowboys will have a lot more success if Pollard touches the ball 3/4 of the game and Zeke about 1/4 of the game. This is bizarre that they can't see what I see.
Yeah, it is a little bit bizarre that they're just sticking with their guy and not trying Pollard for more touches. Just try it for a game at least. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that, I don't know, Elliott, he seems to have lost something physically to me. Like he's just not the same guy that we saw like even 2 years ago. He's just not the same player.
Not at all. No. Okay. I mentioned the Meadowlands earlier. The Cowboys go to the Meadowlands. They play the Giants Monday nighter, 1 week from tonight. And the Bengals also go to the Meadowlands and they play the Jets on Sunday early. So both the Jets and the Giants will be in New York this coming weekend. Okay, last division in the AFC we have to cover is the AFC South. Really poor division. It's tough to witness a lot of these teams. But it's hilarious that the Jags are leading the division. They sit at 2-0 after being the worst team in football last year, and they came out with an amazing performance, a 24-0 shutout of the Colts. The Colts have to be embarrassed. That is horrible. I don't know how you lose 24-0 to the Jags. The Jags haven't improved that much from the worst team in football last year to actually getting a 24-0 shutout. This is crazy. This was one of the another one of those shocking games in week 2.
Yeah, it was. But the one stat that I saw that I was a little bit surprised at is that the Colts have lost their last 8 to the Jags on the road. So in the Jags home turf.
Wow.
They've lost.
That is.
And I was like, that's surprising to me.
That's a very crazy stat.
And then also to the Jags defense. Well, Matty Ice had a rough night at the office.
Yeah.
Sacked 5 times, which forced him into 3 turnovers, 3 INTs. And then you're looking at his numbers, 195 yards, 3 interceptions. Not going to get it done. But Taylor had a good game, or would have had a better game if they maybe have just handed him the ball more.
Yeah.
9 carries, 54 yards. And then we're just going to stop.
Yeah.
Cool.
Weird game plan. Yeah, another weird game plan. He had, I think he had 31 carries first week and had an absolutely incredible game. To be able to only get him the ball 9 times, so bizarre, weird. That was Matt Ryan's worst game of his career. I actually think that he's totally done. He was done. I think after that Super Bowl loss, I think it just broke him. And I think it broke the whole Falcons organization. And it's weird that the Colts have done this again. Try to get a old veteran has-been quarterback to come in and try to win. And I don't see it working out again. This was tough to witness for Matt Ryan, who is a great quarterback, has put up amazing numbers, had a really prolific career, but this is I don't think we're going to see maybe as bad a performance out of him this year, but I don't think we're going to see very many good ones.
Yeah, it's I root for him because, as a Falcons fan, even though he's now on a different team, he did he did good for the organization for so long. So this is kind of a little bit tough for me to see. But hopefully he doesn't fall completely off a cliff for this particular season. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But going back to Trevor Lawrence, had a solid game. Great game. 25 of 30, only missed 5, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and one of his guys, I think one of his favorite receivers, Christian Kirk, 6 receptions, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Got it done.
Yeah, he was a massive get for the Jags this year. That was great. They were able to get Kirk, Evan Engram, and Julio Jones, all 3 really, really smart pickups. And I think that's going to help Trevor Lawrence have a lot more games like this. Also having a really good running game with James Robinson. He had a pretty pedestrian game most of the night, but all of a sudden broke one for a nice long touchdown. And it's amazing to see in football how a team that can be worst one year turned around and all of a sudden, looked pretty darn good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. How about, you knew the Jags wouldn't be horrible forever, and that eventually somehow they would start figuring things out, putting together some wins against some teams that they should possibly win against.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that at least you can see the progression with Trevor Lawrence, that he is getting better at the position.
Jags are in tough this coming Sunday, late window game. They go into LA to play the Chargers. It's going to be hard to stay undefeated there. The Colts host the Chiefs, so they will remain winless after Sunday. And tough on them to after that weird 2020 tie to start the year. A bad loss here, and I think even a worse whooping is in the cards for them next Sunday. Chiefs might take it easy on them after they get up about 5 or 6 touchdowns though.
They might take it easy on them, but if I know anything about that Patrick Mahomes, if they can't stop us, that's their problem. Let's go for 50.
Mike pad the stats maybe. Get his other boys paid, get it
exactly.
Lots of the TDs and lots of yardage. Okay, the AFC South, like I said, really poor division. Texans also remain winless, as we mentioned. They lost 16-9 to Denver, and the Titans also a bad loss tonight, 41-7 against the Bills, and they sit at the bottom. So let's move to the NFC now. Let's talk about some better teams. That AFC South, man. I don't want to spend much time talking about that. Okay, let's start with the East. The Giants sit atop the standings there at 2-0. That's pretty great. Saquon Barkley was a workhorse again. Touched the ball 24 times and had a pretty good game. Daniel Jones, just okay numbers, but they were able to get a big touchdown from Daniel Bellinger and pull out a close game against Carolina 19-16.
Yeah, and then Carolina, unfortunately, is still struggling with their red zone offense. It was bad. That's something that they're going to have to clean up if they want to start winning some of these games. Baker Mayfield, not great numbers, kind of pedestrian, 14-29, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. Did carry the ball 6 times for 35 yards. That's great. They're going to get it done, though. Not going to get it done. So, and Christian McCaffrey, got to say, he looked great.
Yeah.
15 carries, 102 yards. He was good.
Yeah, he's finally back, looking like he's recovered. Also caught four balls for another 26 yards. He's had some injury troubles really bad over the last 2 years, and he's the main weapon they have there. Hopefully he can stay healthy and they've got a shot, but definitely Baker Mayfield is struggling. Cleveland cut him loose, and he thought he would go here and be able to do a lot, but it was it wasn't a good performance by Baker. Giants right away started the game off well. They forced a fumble on the opening kickoff, and really was able to pull out a nice tidy little win. Giants do host the Cowboys, as I mentioned earlier. Panthers sitting down at 0-2. They host the Saints. Jameis Winston will go in there, and probably keep them winless. So okay, let's talk about the we're covering here. As I said, Giants are 2-0, Eagles are now 2-0. Commanders are right behind them at 1-1. They had a horrible start to their game. They were behind 22-0 to Detroit, and they started a furious comeback. Carson Wentz had a huge game, but I don't know what happened in that first half. They just didn't do anything. Second half they looked great, but too far of a deficit to be able to overcome, and took the loss.
Yeah. They if they had a better first half, did like something better, they possibly could have won this game.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. Instead, in the first half, gave up a safety and didn't get a first down till 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Jeez. Oh.
Yeah, that is yikes. That is horrible. That is not good.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then the Lions sacked Wentz 5 times, and Aiden Hutchinson had 3 of those.
Wow.
So that the Lions defense was on it. But at the same time, like you said, Wentz had a great game. He managed to turn it on, but it was unfortunately a little too little, too late. 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But Jared Goff had himself a great game. 26-34, 256 yards, and 4 TDs.
Yeah.
Apparently he can still play.
Yeah, good to see. Once he got traded away from the Rams, everybody thought, he's back. He's in Detroit. Purgatory gonna be put out to pasture soon, but fantastic game. The guys that they brought in were really smart too. Josh Reynolds was part of that trade package. He had another touchdown, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mentioned him last week. Him and his brother scored touchdowns 2 minutes apart. He had a phenomenal game. 9 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he had 2 rushes for 68 yards on the ground. And DeAndre Swift, look out for this guy. Man, is he ever prolific. He had a few really phenomenal runs himself. He was able to have 5 carries for 56 yards, 11 yards average, and a couple catches for 31 yards for a touchdown himself. So, lots of weapons there for Goff. Great to see him put out a great performance, and good for Detroit, seeing them also go from really bad team last year, winless a couple of years ago. And, we laughed a lot last year at the misery that their coach was going through, and the tears that he was shedding. But 36 points, they put up a lot of points on the Eagles last week in a loss. But it looks like this offense has really turned some things around.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy for it, because you can tell the head coach, you cry that much, you clearly care. You know what? You know who he reminds me of now that I think about it? A little bit of Dick Vermeil in him.
Oh, yeah.
That's who he's got.
Yeah.
And those players love Dick Vermeil. And I can tell that they love this dude too. They love him. They love his genuineness and everything else. And they play hard, man. They play hard. So I'm glad to see that Detroit is having some success this season.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think I gave the final score, but the Eagles did win 24-7, and they go to 2-0 as well in this NFC East division. And the team that's holding up the last position is the Cowboys. We mentioned them a little bit, but let's talk about their game against the Bengals. They let me see. I'll pull it out here. Yeah, let's talk about a little bit of that. Oh no, we did go through that, didn't we? Earlier, yeah, with the Bengals, we had that going. So, okay, let's turn to the NFC West. All four teams sit at 1-1. I bet you the 49ers are really happy that they had the most expensive backup quarterback still in the fold. One of the things that drives me just nuts about the NFL season is all the speculation when one quarterback's trying to take over for another, and there's like, oh, he's going to get traded here, oh, he's going to get signed there, they're going to waive him, he's going to millions of speculating, all this crap, and then finally he just re-signs with the same team, and all that was wasted hours and breath. And Trey Lance in his second career start really takes a huge blow, breaks his ankle, has to undergo surgery today, and is lost for the season. Jimmy G comes in, doesn't do a ton, but does what Jimmy G does and wins games, and was able to pull out a victory for the Niners here.
It's a good thing that they retained his services. You know, it's actually pretty good, because if there's one thing about Jimmy G that he does do, he wins football games.
He wins, yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It may not look great, make me kind of ugly, but he still wins.
Yeah.
He still wins. So thank goodness they still had him, you know, and Jimmy G, 13, 21, 154 yards, 1 touchdown. But apparently that's all he had to do. You want to know why? Because it's the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And they suck.
Yeah.
They're not good.
No.
They're not going to be good this year. It's not good.
Yeah.
But I will say this, though. At least they had one bright spot, briefly. Tyler Lockett, 9 receptions, 107 yards. That's all I'm going to give him. That's great.
Yeah, and they got that really amazing kick, the blocked kick that they returned for a TD. But other than that, yeah, they did not look good after getting that big win against the Broncos on opening weekend. Yeah, they fell back to earth here. That interception that DJ Dallas threw was probably one of the most horrible passes I've ever seen anybody throw. I don't know what the heck. I think it's like, we don't trust Geno, so maybe we'll get the running back to throw it, and they should never get that guy to throw another pass. That was the worst ball I've seen in years.
Yeah. That's when you go, okay, so sorry about that. We tried that. We gave that a shot. That blew up in our face. So we know that doesn't work. Yeah, no, that's very true. That definitely does not work. And the 49ers defense, completely dominant. Held the Hawks. I love this stat. 4.6 yards per play. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Brutal. Yeah, it was brutal. I feel sorry for Hawk fans after so many years of making the playoffs, and they just it was rough. They did not have anything going in this game at all. Their offense was just completely stymied by the 49ers. And the rushing attack was incredible. Shanahan just loves handing the ball off as much as he can. I think they had something like 38 rushes in this game. They're handing the ball to everybody. Debo had a great game. Wilson, it's a pretty impressive offense, and Jimmy G should be able to probably just do enough to help this team make the playoffs and go pretty far. I wouldn't be surprised with it. That game because he had more than 25% of the snaps and got the win. That was another $350,000 in his bank. He has I think a base salary of 6 million, and he can make up to about 15 million with wins, with incentives and all the bonuses. He was scheduled to make 28 million this year, and nobody wanted to touch that. So he renegotiated, but he probably will get about half that this year and get all the glory again. After they had pretty much given up and said, "See you later, get out of here. We don't want you anymore." Now they're gonna have to kiss and make up, and he's the guy again.
Yeah, he's the guy because hey, you never know. You never know in this league. You never know when your starting quarterback's going to go down. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Because injuries happen all the time. And also too, 49ers, they should be happy that they decided to retain his services, because if they didn't, they would not be in a good way right now.
Yeah. In basketball, they have the bird rule. They have a lot of rules where you can pay your own guy more money and don't worry about the salary cap. And there's a lot of things that are sort of, designed to keep your players instead of getting rid of them year after year. I wish there were a lot more teams had two good quarterbacks. They had, number 1 and 1A. I don't like that. All your eggs in one basket, and if your guy goes down, that's it. You got to turn to a guy that's not very good, and your season's just blown up. And quarterbacks get hurt all the time. There should be, way more teams that get that second guy. Maybe that second guy doesn't count towards your salary cap at all.
That would be awesome. Never going to happen, but that would be a great thing to have, because then, you know what? It would just bring up the quality of these games.
Yeah.
Of the fact that if your number 1 does go down, then number 1A is just right there. It's like, we're really not going to miss too much of a beat here.
Yeah.
As opposed to just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, it's tough. They are, they're the team that, only really had probably the best backup in the league. And he's there. And I'm sure they're really, really happy that no other team went for him and took him off their hands, because they were sort of just, anybody take him, please take him. We don't want him. We're done with him. And Trey Lance experiment hasn't worked out so far.
No, because guess what? I guess that experiment will continue next season.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, the 49ers go to Denver to play the Broncos. That is the Sunday nighter, and the Seahawks host the Falcons. So maybe the Seahawks can get a victory, second victory there. We'll see. Speaking of the Falcons, they were down 28-3. And 28-3 is a score that is burned into the brain of every Atlanta Falcons fan around the world, because you all know that they had that Super Bowl wrapped up at that score, and somehow Tom Brady, the GOAT, was able to pull off the victory. Well, they were down 28-3 on this game against the Rams. And everybody turned off the television sets all over the world, and not me, because I had faith, and I watched, and I almost witnessed an absolute another epic comeback. I texted you and said, "Are you watching? Are you watching this game?" Because most people weren't anymore, and they came close to pulling this off. I don't know how they did it. It was a shock. As I said earlier, Jalen Ramsey snuffed it out on the goal line with a really amazing interception. But this was stunning. I was blown away. This could have been one of those epic comebacks as well.
Could have been. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, because as soon as I saw the score of 28-3, I'm like, they'll never be able to overcome that. That is. It's burned into the Falcons' soul that they know it's like, if it's 28-3, well, yeah, that's like, it's like a mental block for them now.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. If anything, what we'll do is we'll just like bring more heartache to ourselves by coming really close and then blowing the game anyways. What we do. It's what we do.
That's it, eh?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I definitely felt sorry for the Falcons faithful because yeah, it's another heartbreak. It really looked promising. Marcus Mariota looked great and he was really bringing it on, but I don't know why he threw that ball up there at that moment. Didn't need to do that. Yeah, it really bailed out the Rams. Sean McVay came up to the podium and he goes, "Holy hell, I need a drink." That was his first words up at the podium after the game. He was stunned at the comeback the Falcons were making, but Jalen Ramsey, who had a really poor first game, was able to bail them out and get a really amazing pick there at the end.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey just showing his all pro chops, like getting that interception, cementing the win. But, again, there's that one dude for the Rams. Oh, yeah, Cooper Kupp. That guy's Mr. Automatic. You might as well just say, oh, no, he's automatic. He's just going to get his numbers. He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
11 receptions, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, the man he's amazing. He's a machine.
Yeah. I said last week, and I thought, there's no way he's going to be able to put up the same numbers that he did last year. But man, yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, his hands are incredible. He knows how to find the open seams. He's not the most athletic, most fast guy in the NFL, but he's like a Jerry Rice, just knows where to go, and his quarterback knows where he's going to be, and they're on the same page, and he always, puts up 100 yards per game with 10 to 15 catches. It's incredible.
Yeah, and his game is not flashy, but it's always dependable, reliable, and he's always going to be there for you. Always.
Yeah. Rams go to Arizona to play the Cards, so interdivisional matchup there, which will be great. Falcons, as I said, go to Seattle. All 4 teams in the NFC West, Niners, Rams, Cards, and Seahawks, all 1-1 to start the year. NFC North, the only undefeated team going into tonight was Minnesota, and boom, they took the loss, as I said, 24-7 over the Eagles. The Packers played that Sunday nighter, and Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears. This was just regular game. Wasn't that compelling. 27-10 win for the Packers. A-Rod kind of had a relatively quiet game for him, but pulled out the win, and that's what's important for them.
Yeah, and the guy that really gashed the Bears was Mr. Jones. 15 carries, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. And then had, a couple receptions for 38 yards and another touchdown.
Yeah.
So he had a big game.
Aaron Jones is a massive weapon, and I know how much Aaron Rodgers relies on him and is really prolific for them. AJ Dillon also great in the backfield, 18 carries for 61 yards and catch as well. Sammy Watkins, 3 catches for 93 yards, a prolific target for him. And Alan Lazard got the other touchdown for them. Easy win. Fields, what the heck? Like, that was crazy how little they rely on and they believe in Justin Fields passing the ball. 11 attempts, 70 yards and no touchdowns for 1 interception. Like, what the heck's going on? They don't trust him at all to throw the ball, do they?
No, not really. So I wonder, why is he your quarterback? You're not gonna let him, throw the ball like at all. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Like, it's like, no, man, that dude, if you want to have an offense, a balanced offense, any kind of offense, he's going to have to pass the ball a little bit more than 11 times that game.
Yeah.
It has to be a thing. And if it's not a thing, then clearly that guy cannot be your quarterback going forward.
Yeah. I mentioned I mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Equanimous St. Brown had a couple catches, 39 yards, really good there, but there really wasn't much thrown up. David Montgomery, you got to get that guy the ball. This offense just stalled like crazy. He had 15 carries for 122 yards and a couple catches for 14 yards. But they just could not generate anything against the Packers, and really didn't look good at all.
No, their only bright spot was Montgomery, and that was it. That was it. It was unfortunate, but the Bears need more, especially from their quarterback, or at least need to let him try.
This will be a really good matchup. Green Bay goes to Tampa Bay for Sunday, late window. Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. Really looking forward to this one.
Oh, that's always a great game when you have two future Hall of Famers. Well, one's definitely a Hall of Famer, Brady. Actually, they both are. They both are. But it should be fun. It should be a good old shootout, hopefully.
Yeah. As we mentioned, the Bucs, they played terrible on Sunday. They were just not there. They were tied 3-3 after 3 quarters. They just couldn't get anything going until they had a fight, until a brawl was started by Tom Brady. It seemed like it was the CSM turning point.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they were able to pull out the win. Unfortunately, Mike Evans, because of this brawl, will be suspended for the game against the Packers. He came in to Tom Brady's defense and threw Marshawn Lattimore to the ground, and will be suspended. He's appealing it, but I think he's gone for this Sunday. Tom Brady looked super frustrated. I know he's going through a divorce and all this kind of crap, but you gotta just calm down and save your teammates from trying to save a 46-year-old man from getting killed. This was not good, and they were able to win, but they sure did not look good doing so.
They didn't look very good at all. But at the same time, Evans and Lattimore, they got beef. They got a history.
They have a history, yeah.
Like a huge history of beef. Yeah. So, but the one thing that Lattimore, I think he forgot something. He forgot about one thing, very important. Don't tug on Superman's cape. Don't do that. Don't poke the bear. Just don't leave him alone. Yeah. Because once he did that, it's like, oh, really? I think you forgot who I was. I think you forgot what my name is. Yeah. Don't worry. I'm going to remind you right now.
Yeah. That touchdown pass that he threw to Rashad Perriman was beautiful. It was just so nice. You just found him right in the corner of the end zone. That was vintage Tom Brady, and that was something that we've been witnessing for, pretty much his entire career.
Yeah, exactly. It's he's that good, and he is still that good. So and I hope that he's good enough too that he can salvage any sort of marital strife that he's having right now with his lovely wife. So we'll see. Let's see how great the GOAT actually is.
Good one. Let's see if he can do all these great things on the field. He's got to pull off the GOAT status off the field too.
Yes, he does. Because you're Tom Brady. That's what you do, buddy. That's what you do.
Jameis Winston, he had a pretty good game, but 3 picks. But he is playing this game with 4 fractures in his back. I cannot believe that they marched him out there. 4 fractures in his back, painkillers extra padding, but are you kidding me? 4 fractures. We talked about the rib cartilage fracture that Herbert had, but 4 fractures in his back, and they're marching him out there to try to get a victory. This is insane to me.
That's not on his spine, right? Like, I don't know, but like if you're putting together like a guy that's just like put together by duct tape, maybe it's time to. I think we're gonna have to sit you down.
Yeah,
yeah, because he can barely stand.
Taysom Hill should have been in there. I wouldn't have had Winston playing with those back injuries. Alvin Kamara out, that really hurts the Saints. Michael Thomas got another touchdown. Great to see him back in the end zone. Second week in a row. Mark Ingram had a good game filling in for Kamara, but they just didn't have enough. Great defense for 3 quarters, but Marshawn Lattimore, like you say, he poked the bear, tugged on Superman's cape, and now they've got the loss, and that was a wrong move on his part.
Wrong move on his part, and now because of that win by Brady, he does not have a losing record against any team in his stellar career. He had it against the Saints, not anymore.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. As I mentioned, Tampa Bay and Green Bay play each other next Sunday. It's going to be amazing. I failed to mention that Aaron Rodgers became the 5th quarterback in history to throw for 450 touchdowns or more. The GOAT has 626 and counting. Breeze has 571. Peyton Manning 539. And the guy that Aaron Rodgers replaced, Brett Favre, has 508. And Aaron Rodgers should probably pass that sometime next season, I would think, if he sticks around. But Tom Brady just keeps pushing that record farther and farther and farther out of reach. It could be to a point that nobody's ever going to get to.
Yeah, like that. That's why he's playing this year, right? Just to make sure, nobody's ever going to touch my record. That's why I'm doing this extra year. Nobody's
there. Yeah. So the South, as I said, the Bucs are 2-0, Saints are 1-1, and the Panthers and Falcons both fall to 0-2. So that is the coverage of the NFL from top to bottom, every division. That was a fun week 2. It's going to be a really good week 3. I mentioned 3 really amazing matchups that we're really excited for, and here we go. I'm excited. Steelers Browns on Thursday, and then tons of great games coming Sunday. That Bills Dolphins game, holy cow, that will be epic, and I sure will not miss a second of that. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that Rams Cardinals. Looking forward to the Packers Bucs, and many other matchups will be great. 49ers Broncos. Cowboys Giants always Monday nighter, as I said, 1 week from tonight. Anything else you want to mention?
No, not really. It's just the Falcons, they make me sad. Make me so sad.
Yeah.
I would like them to be better one of these years. I'd like the organization to heal at some point.
Yeah.
But maybe 2025. Maybe that will be the year.
Maybe. One last thing. Police are investigating some allegations of assault on Kyler Murray from the fans. Somebody supposedly reached out and struck Kyler from the stands, and so the police are trying to find out the details on that. So we will see what comes out of it. Let's talk about the UFC. We had UFC Vegas 60. It's 60 fights at the Apex. That's crazy. I don't want very many more at the Apex. I don't think it's enough of an atmosphere there, not enough crowd, not enough energy. I hate hearing every single yell by the coaches and stuff. They got to get more out to stadiums, places around the world. 60 at the Apex. That's way too many, and I'm done with it. That's actually the 210th fight night in UFC history, and there was 13 fights on the card. The big one was the main event, and it's becoming a bantamweight sort of elimination battle. We're seeing these top 10 guys just keep constantly facing each other, and it's really starting to emerge to a great picture. But one thing that just really shocked me was Jose Aldo has decided to retire, and he is hanging them up. He's walking away. He was number 6 in this division, and so there'll be a big shift today or tomorrow. The rankings come out. Were you shocked to hear the news that Jose has decided to call it a career?
Yeah, because he's still really good. Like
Yeah.
he's still in the top 10. You know,
Yeah.
like, but at the same time, if he feels that he doesn't have it anymore, then he doesn't have it. And on top of that, that's him leaving on a high note.
Yeah.
You know, the game didn't push him out. He left with grace.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always a good thing to see. And you know, he didn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah.
So
Two-time featherweight champ, great bantamweight contender, 36-8 final record. He won 25 of his first 26 fights. He really has had a prolific career. After losing the belt to Conor McGregor in 13 seconds, that might have just broken a guy and just made him retire, quit, go away then. He changed weight divisions, and was able to get a lot of nice big victories and move back up the ranks and to walk away at number 6. He asked the UFC to release him. He had one fight left, and there was a lot of speculation that he would fight on this Rio de Janeiro card that's coming up fairly soon. He is the king of Rio, but he has been starting to entertain offers to box. And so he's going to cash in the big money while he can, and fight probably one of the Pauls, one of their buddies, or something like that. And this is another example, though, that really bothers me, is if the UFC paid these guys better, we wouldn't keep losing them. Nate Diaz, Jose Aldo, who's next, going to boxing and cashing in on the big money. We probably lose Francis Ngannou, our heavyweight champion, to the boxing ring. If you paid these guys better, Dana and company, maybe we wouldn't be losing so many great fighters.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? Greed is a heck of a thing. It really is. And so what that tells me is that the UFC is like, well, we value what we pay ourselves a little bit more than what we pay these guys. All right?
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But and it's the truth. It's the truth. They absolutely do. They agree with that mantra so much to the point that they could lose their heavyweight champion to it.
Yeah.
So
one thing that was mentioned over the weekend, Joe Pfeiffer, a new UFC up-and-comer, said that Dana White stepped up and took him out of a bad situation financially, was able to give him a place to live, gave him some money, and helped him out over the past year as he was trying to get into the UFC through the Contender Series. And just a very classy, great move by Dana White, helping out a young guy that he saw a lot of potential in. And this guy came into the UFC, got a really prolific knockout, and on the Contender Series was dynamic and fun. And great to see that Dana has a heart, and it's not all just about him trying to make as much money as he can and forget the fighters. He really went above and beyond for this guy.
Yeah. Every once in a while, he does good stuff where you gotta acknowledge it. You gotta acknowledge it. Like, no, he did something good there. That was pretty good, Dana. Pretty good, Uncle Dana. But at the same time, if I'm Piper, it's like, dude, you better have exciting fights now forever because I helped you out. Now you have to help me out.
Yeah.
Always exciting. Hey, they always better be knockout, drag out brawls. I want to see you laying and praying ever.
I wish I was a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Pretty much like that.
Yeah, I think it's word for word. Yeah, somehow you were already there for the conversation.
Oh, I most certainly was. I certainly was.
Yeah. This fight was actually a epic card for the record they set. There was 13 fighters on this card that came through the Dana White Contender Series. So we're seeing just so many guys getting contracts and getting opportunities through that. It used to be the Ultimate Fighter, and now it's this Contender Series, and we're seeing contracts handed out every week. 13 fighters on this card. Pretty incredible. Half the card was from the Dana White Contender Series. This started. This makes the UFC Bantamweight picture a little clearer. Cory Sandhagen and Song Yadong. Sandhagen took a big risk here. He was kind of up there, clamoring for a title shot, decided to fight a guy much below him in the rankings, but proved that he was the better fighter, especially landing that huge elbow that cut Song and really just changed the course of this fight. Song was eventually told he couldn't continue because of the severity of the cut. But definitely I thought Cory was the much better fighter in this battle with a really tough young fighter in Song Yadong.
Yeah, like Song Yadong is never going to give up on himself. The man is tough, he's strong, he's young, and he's got power for days from every component of his body that he can hit you with.
Yeah,
everything. So with Sandhagen, though, I love the fact that he kept giving Song Yadong different looks. Yeah. Like he kept switching stances. He would try to bait him into takedowns. Like he changed levels and he just attacked him in every sort of different way. And also the diversity of his strikes was ridiculous.
Yeah,
jumping knees, the step in elbows that gashed him in the first place. You know, like I was impressed with the way that he attacked Song Yadong and kept attacking him. But for Song Yadong, I was super impressed with the fact that I thought he came back in the third and won that round.
Yeah,
I really did. I thought he came back and he won that round. The man has heart. But in the fourth round, once he started, Sandhagen started working on that cut again. It was just like I swear, I thought I saw some white. I thought I saw a skull. Like it was, that thing was nasty.
Yeah,
and yes, it had to stop. You cannot continue with a cut like that.
I actually think that they probably would have stopped it if they hadn't had a cut in the previous fight. Yeah. And it was a really bad, nasty cut that they let keep going on. I think if they hadn't had that happen in the fight previous, I think they would have stopped that fight even sooner.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, because even like after the second round when it happened, and then he went back to his corner, I was like, oh, that's not good. Yeah. Bad gash.
Well, it was leaking directly into his eyeball, and he had blood. He had to have blurry vision. At the end of the fight, he actually said that he couldn't see out of the other eye, and so that's one of the main reasons why they stopped it. They said that he said he couldn't see, and it wasn't out of the eye that had the cut above it. It was actually the other eye.
Oh. Yeah. That's bad. That's actually kind of scary, and that's horrible. Yeah. So obviously you have to protect the fighter, and you're done. You're done.
Yeah. So once Sandhagen won, he decided to call out the winner between Chito Vera and Merab Dvalishvili. Both of them jumped on social media immediately. Actually, Chito was in the Apex, and he said, "Yeah, I'm game. Let's do it." I think most fans are clamoring for Sandhagen, Vera, seeing that battle together. It should be great. Vera's off of his big victory over Dominic Cruz, and he sits where is he? Oh, he's number 5, and Sandhagen it sits at number 4. So yeah, this could be a really good battle that I would be very excited to see.
I absolutely love that matchup. And I hope that's the matchup that they make, because that's exciting. Those are two guys that are just going to come forward and they're going to bang. It's going to be one heck of a fight.
We're really close to, we're about a little over a month away between the champion Aljamain Sterling fighting TJ Dillashaw, October 22nd. That will be a great fight. I expect Algeo probably wins that one. And then we've got Peter Yan fighting Sean O'Malley. Who knows why? I think Yan probably kills O'Malley. I don't see that being very good. Yan's still not the number 1 contender. TJ's number 2. Marab sits number 3. And then Cheeto, Aldo, unfortunately, gone. Font will move up, Cruz will move up, Pedro Munoz, and yeah, it's going to be exciting for this bantamweight division. I sure am looking forward to the Algeo TJ fight. Not so much for the Yan O'Malley fights.
I can understand that. O'Malley actually, well, he's a big talker. He's got a big mouth, but at the same time, yeah. Okay, so you got a big mouth, but this is it. This is it right there. This is like top of the food chain, dude. So let's see what you could do against this guy. Yeah. I am very curious to see what he has against him, or what any tricks that he's going to have in preparation for Peter Yan, because yeah, I'm like yourself. I think he's going to be completely outclassed in every aspect.
Yeah. Oh, he bit off way more than he could chew here, and yeah, it's not a good matchup. I don't think it would be a shock if he is able to hang with Peter Yan, who's a killer. So, I mentioned Gregory Rodriguez in the co-main event, middleweight matchup against Chidi and Jakawani. Rodriguez, he's got an incredible body. He is in amazing shape, but I've seen him a bit stiff, and I thought Jakawani was going to be able to take him out. He almost did early on, had Rodriguez in a lot of trouble. Obviously opened up that massive cut between his eyebrows, and it just started opening up wider and wider and wider, and it just seemed like this is going to get called, and Jakawani is going to get the victory. But Rodriguez, man, this guy's powerful and tough, and he pulled out the big victory.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call him RoboCop. He's able to walk through stuff like that knee. I thought he was out.
Yeah,
especially when the analysts are like, "How's he still standing? How did he do that?" Yeah. I was actually also like, "How did he do that?" I don't know how he's still standing, because man, super tough, amazing, durability, and that's what this fight actually came down to, was who was more durable. Well, we got our answer. It was Rodriguez.
Yeah,
because Rodriguez eventually got to Jakawani, managed to hurt him in the first, and then once he started really turning up the pressure in the second, and did that hip toss to him on the mat. First off, Jakawani, you could tell, was finally getting broken down, because even that hip toss, I thought he went down pretty easy.
Very easy.
And then ground and pound strikes, and then after a while, the ground and pound was overpowering, because he didn't even try to scramble or anything else. He just tried to cover up. And then you knew it was over.
Fight was done. Yeah. He went from RoboCop to Terminator. That's it. I love that line. That was a good one. That was one of the rounds of the year, because he got in trouble after that knee, and he was Jakawani came in and landed some serious shots, but then he knocked down Chidi and had him in all sorts of trouble. It was a hell of a good fight. These two guys are both amazing. But Rodriguez, yeah, to be able to walk through that knee and the punishment that he took early to be able to get the victory, good on him. And yeah, he's in line for some amazing fights to come up, I'm sure.
No, he most certainly is. This was a very tough win for Rodriguez, but he still managed to pull it out, and he showed his heart.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we got to fly through a lot of this, but tell me about your thoughts between Andre Fili and Bill Algeo.
Great fight. Definitely in the third round where Fili got that timely takedown against Algeo. That's what won him the fight. That move right there is what actually won him the fight. I thought these guys kind of looking in a mirror with the way that they like to attack each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Except Algeo just likes to have his hands down a little bit lower than Fili. But I thought both men, great fight, pretty equal, but at the same time, the strategy that Fili had, especially in that third round where that was the deciding round, him taking Algeo down to the ground, beautiful, perfect.
That was, yeah, exactly what he needed, and got it. It was a split decision. Two judges had it 29-28 Fili, one had it 29-28 Algeo. It was surprising. I heard that Algeo broke his arm at some point in the fight. I didn't notice it until I heard it today. Yeah, he broke his arm. Fili said he was the one that broke it. I think he thinks that it was from a kick that he blocked. But yeah, I didn't notice it as the fight was wearing on.
These guys are so tough. I definitely didn't notice it. Obviously, it was from probably one of his head kick attempts, I think, from Fili, but I didn't notice it. And also too, Algeo, ridiculous poker face.
Yeah,
couldn't tell.
Crazy. Yeah, you're right. We talk about how tough they are, but yeah, it's shocking all the time how much it is. At some point through the fight, they showed Joe Rogan sitting with Dave Chappelle. Man, I wish I could have been next to either one of those guys. That would have been a hell of a fun night.
That would have been the funniest like time that you've ever had watching fights. Because all you'd have to do is just overhear their conversation and be like, okay, this is the best. This is awesome.
Yeah. Sure made me wish I was there.
Yeah, and I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mentioned Joe Pfeiffer earlier. He got the big KO win. Man, he looked really good. Huge right hand that just landed right on the temple and dropped Amardovsky. Almost a walk-off win. Tognoni kind of came in. It was like, and then he had to land a couple of extra shots to finish it off. But I love his nickname, Body Bags. Was able to get his 7th knockout and 10 victories. And yeah, this is a guy I think a lot of people are going to get behind. Seems like a good guy that has had a rough life, but is turning it around with very experienced martial arts career.
Yeah, and also too, like, definitely a guy that you can get behind. Definitely a guy that I guess apparently the boss gets behind.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And also too, he's got one of the baddest nicknames in the UFC right now. Body Bags. Remember I first heard that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice.
I love it. Yeah.
Love that.
He got $50K for that knockout, and he mentioned it was his 26th birthday, so he really must have celebrated after. That would have been awesome. He said that he had a really, really tough life. A lot of abuse in his family. He ended up sleeping on park benches when he was a teenager. Really had a tough go until he got into mixed martial arts and turned his life around. And great to see young guys that have a tough upbringing get tuned into martial arts and end up having a great life. From where you just really didn't see that projection, but Very, very, very heartwarming to see a guy being able to turn his life around.
It always is. It always is, and those are always the people that you have no problem getting behind, and hopefully seeing their success and seeing them rise to the ranks and soar, because hey, at the end of the day, their hard work is paid off, and this is what they've earned for themselves.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Tanner Bozer took a loss here. Didn't have a mullet anymore, which was quite surprising to me. Came coming off a victory over KO knockout of Oven St. Preux, but hasn't fought in a year and 3-4 months. Came in about 30 pounds lighter than Nascimento. And once the fight went to the ground, that's where he is missing that size, that weight. And it's very tough for Tanner to get up when a guy's like 30 pounds heavier than him. He had the speed factor going into, on the stand-up game. But once that fight went to the ground, look out. I felt really sorry for Tanner not being able to get up and, continue fighting.
That's it. That's why he lost the fight, was the fact that Nascimento was able to get him to the ground, and then Bozer, being the smaller man, literally couldn't get up. Like it took him an amazing amount of effort to finally get up from underneath the bigger man.
Yeah.
But as he keeps doing that throughout the course of the fight, it just begins to add up and add up and add up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Tanner got taken down. If he was able to keep his distance away from Nascimento, he would have won that fight. But Nascimento is really good.
Yeah.
And eventually he was able to track him down and get him to the mat.
I know Tanner Bozer, and he gets asked to go down to 205 all the time, and he immediately just calls people stupid and says, "What the hell? There's no way I'm doing that. Forget it. I'm not going to cut muscle off to get down there. There's no way. My speed advantage is great when I can stay lean and mean like this." I don't know. I just hope that he can get amazing takedown defense where people just can't get him to the ground, and he can stay standing, use that speed. He's got a lot of power, but we've seen him lose way too many decisions that could go either way. But for some reason, the judges are favoring the other guy. This one, Nascimento was able to get those takedowns and keep him down for most of the rounds when he had him. It was a split decision, but another unfortunate split decision loss for Bozer. And I don't know who he's going to face next, but I sure hope he can face a guy that doesn't want to go to the ground, and he can just show these show his skill. But the whole entire fight, I just kept wishing that it wasn't on the ground. That's for sure.
Yeah. So did I. But Nascimento had a very simplistic and easy game plan, which is, I just need to get this guy on the mat. And since I'm the bigger man, it's going to be super hard for him to get up.
Yeah. And Brazilians love doing that. So, it was kind of a foregone conclusion, unfortunately. Let's talk about the opening fight to the main card. Another Canadian in there, Marc-Andre Barriault, the power bar. Fighting Fluffy Anthony Hernandez. He was not fluffy in this one at all. He was definitely the better man. They say styles make fights, and but this was kind of a one-sided affair. He was really dominant. I think Barriault broke his rib early, and it really significantly stopped him. He got spiked on his head once, which was pretty shocking. But Fluffy was the better man on this night, definitely in this one.
Yeah, he hurt Barriault. I thought in the first round Barriault did actually very well within the clinch and getting off his uppercuts and stuff. But once the second round and third round started, you could tell that Hernandez, his cardio was really beginning to wear on Barriault. And
Yeah.
he was beginning to slowly but surely take over the fight by grappling him, leaning on him, dragging him down to the mat, hurting him. Like, it just kept coming and coming and coming. And
Yeah.
you could see Burial begin to wilt slowly but surely as the fight went on.
Sure did. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's talk about the prelims. What do you want to focus on? We should try to fly through there. Tell me what fight you most like to chat about.
Jackson versus Sabatini for me.
Okay.
And the reason why I want to talk about this fight in particular was the heavy heart that Damian Jackson went into the octagon with, having found out earlier that week that his brother had passed away,
Yeah.
shockingly passed away.
Brutal.
And it was super brutal.
Yeah.
And the fact that I love the fact that he said, "Oh, there was no question I was going to do the fight because that's what he would have wanted me to do, and that's what I was going to do."
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he took out a guy that was 4-0 in the UFC and did it in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
With that front kick, rocked him, ground and pounded him for the win, quick in and out, which is, I think, exactly what he needed to have done.
Yeah, just over a minute and a big victory. Yeah, it was heartwarming. Or I mean, it was heartbreaking to hear, losing his brother. And yeah, that's got to be so tough. You're in fight camp and you're trying to get ready for a big battle, being the featured prelim fight. And yeah, good on him. I'm glad he was able to get the victory, and he did it in very quick fashion, took no damage at all.
Yeah. He did it quick, and I think it's something that briefly would help him and his family as they get over this their painful loss.
Yeah. I wanted to mention Trey Ogden, a winner over Devin Zellbuter. I love his nickname, the Samurai Ghost. I hate the nickname for Zellhuber, Golden Boy. No, that's Oscar De La Hoya's name, and nobody else should take that. That was kind of ridiculous. It was a really good kickboxing display by Ogden. He just I really like this fighter. He is really great. He was severe underdog, but James Krause, I think one of the best coaches in the game, was able to figure out the game plan and get Ogden the victory. In a huge upset.
Yeah, big time upset. I thought myself for this particular fight, Zellhuber was too cautious. He was too cautious. He didn't trust himself, and he didn't trust his striking. And Ogden took advantage of that by literally just being the busier fighter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. 3 Canadians on the card was pretty incredible. Jillian Robertson, the Savage, had been through a ton of wars. Dean Thomas is her coach. Just 10-7 going in, but a veteran, been in there with a ton of girls. Facing Maria Agapova, who was favored and supposed to win, but Robertson was just a dog on the bone, relentlessly going for the takedown, even when she was taking massive amounts of elbows and shots to the face, just kept going for it. Once she finally got the takedown that secured, she was able to get the rear naked choke in, and basically Agapova couldn't tap before she went to sleep, and she was really asleep for a bit there. And what do you think? That was I think it was a little bit of a mistake by the ref to not get in there a little sooner.
But also too, it was weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Agapova was trying to do, but like I clearly remember, I think DC saying, "Is she biting her tongue to try to to try to fight it off?" And I'm like, and you could kind of see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how you fight a rear naked choke. That's just how you go to sleep for a very, very long time. It actually looked a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, is she gonna bite her tongue off? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm just like, and bite the hands. I didn't understand what she was doing because I think she panicked.
Yeah.
I think she panicked, And at the same time, it's like, no, you're a professional fighter. You got to know these things.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes sense. Not bite your tongue.
No, that was tough. That was tough to see, but good on Jillian. Great to see a victory there. We had two Canadians lose, but the lone Canadian victory, and she is, she is quite the legend. She's had the most submissions in UFC flyweight history, extending her own record to 6 now. Most wins in the UFC flyweight history. She's one behind Valentina Shevchenko and Caitlin Chukagian. They both have 9, and she has 8. Most finishes in UFC women's history. She has 7. Jessica Andrade has 8, and Amanda Nunes has 10. So, just really starting to move up in the ranks in these records. And she's from a great team in Florida, the Goat Shed. Great to see her get her hand raised, and a pretty good card overall. We've seen some really big cards in the last month or so, but this one was not bad. We have a 1-week break with the UFC. No card this coming Saturday, so nothing to look forward to. Just we got a break on Saturday. It'll be very weird. No boxing, no UFC. We'll be able to do other things with our lives on Saturday night.
I don't know if I like that at all. That's horrible. That's a bad idea. Horrible.
Yeah, I agree. Come on, keep them coming. We want more. Yeah, bring them every week. We love the UFC, so bring them on. Keep them coming.
Well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I understand that sometimes fighters need a break, I guess. So it's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
Yeah. Well, man, this one turned out to be long. We had a lot of NFL to cover, but what a great week of football, and 2 Monday nighters out. Really weird. A lot to prepare for today, but this was fun as always, and thanks for your great breakdowns. It was awesome.
No, thank you. It's always a pleasure doing this with you on the Mondays, and look forward to the next Monday where we just get to focus on football.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll see what breaks down out of the rest of the world of sports, but just a football podcast coming up. So, hope you have a great week. I hope it's not as difficult and tough as your day was today. And keep in touch. I guess let's talk through the week.
Yep, you betcha. Will do.
Okay, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night.
For now.
Okay, another podcast. Wow, I think we're over 2 hours here. Holy cow. Got to wrap it up. Thanks to our partners and sponsors. Got to mention anchor.fm, easiest place to make a podcast. Just go there and you can do what Jason and I are doing here. Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, industry leader in technology, performance, and value. V350 stick is a must-have for any hockey player in your midst. Pampas and Possibilities, designers of West Coast pretty things for your home. Get them to come in and spruce up your house to make it look phenomenal. And Forever Living, the aloe vera company for health and beauty products. You can find lots of products on our website, and get some discounts there as well. Thanks for sticking in. Appreciate your support as always. And lots of great things on our media network, Complete Media Network, Complete Sports Media. Love you guys lots. Tell your friends, tell your family. Have a good week ahead. Take care. Bye.